National Quesadilla Day. If you are watching this on Sunday, September 25th, that is what today is, a national holiday, a national treasure, celebrating quesadillas around the world. We're going to talk about, well, I don't know, nationally around the world, I don't know. We're going to talk about quesadillas. We're going to talk about ingredients that you can put on, inside of, or around quesadillas. Obviously, you could probably do whatever you want with a quesadilla. It's not a very complicated type of food. You get some tortillas, you put some cheese in there, you put some other stuff in there. It's going to be bomb no matter what. But these are some of the most common ingredients I could think of, just kind of off the top of my head, asking a couple people, hey, what do you put in there? This is what we came up with. So we're going to go ahead and rank these on a scale of S tier, the best, down to F tier, the trash. And yeah, tier list up every day on this channel, guys. Sports channel linked down below as well as gameplay if you care about me playing random games. We go for one take videos here. We go for the most random videos here. If that appeals to you, consider subscribing. With all that said, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with sour cream. These are in a completely random order. Sour cream, I'm going to say above average. It's a nice topping on quesadillas. Now, I know some people don't like sour cream, and those people, unfortunately, actually, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I kind of understand if you don't like sour cream. It's not something I feel super passionately about. Right, if you tell me you don't like steak, you're wrong. But for sour cream, I like it as a topping on a quesadilla because it's a nice like juxtaposition from the quesadilla. Right, you have the hot melty cheese, and then you have the cold or like cool creamy sour cream. I just think it goes really, really well together. So above average for me. Avocado, gonna put in mid. This might surprise some people. I really like avocado, but in a quesadilla, I think it's a little overpowering of flavor. What I would rather have is guacamole. So guacamole, I would go ahead and put up here in above average tier. But avocado by itself, just plain avocado, I'd say mid. I don't think it's that good to put inside of a quesadilla. But some guacamole to dip my quesadilla in, I could go with that. I feel like I should wait to do meat, right? Because I feel like that's the main event, right? So should we wait to do meat until the end? I think we could. So next up we have onion and cilantro kind of going together here now. Onion and cilantro, I don't typically put in a quesadilla myself. I think that they don't really add much to a quesadilla, but what they do, if you're making some kind of special quesadilla like quesadilla, so like if you're putting birria in there or like some carne asada or something, adding onion and cilantro in there is actually fire. But by itself, I'm going to go ahead and put it in mid. I don't think they're actually that great by themselves in a quesadilla. I think they are something that you need to add to other ingredients. So yeah, mid tier there. And honestly, cilantro below average. I'm sorry, I know some people swear by cilantro. I don't dislike cilantro. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. So I definitely will put it in there if I have some birria in my quesadilla, and we will get to birria in a bit. But yeah, below average there. Beans, also going to go ahead and say below average. That's, again, something that you probably have on the side of a quesadilla more than inside. So as a quesadilla ingredient itself, I'm going to say below average. I don't think it's that, great there. Same thing with potatoes. I have heard of potato tacos. But as far as potato quesadillas, haven't really heard of that, to be honest. I'm going to say it's below average. I don't think it's bad. And let's be honest, nothing on this list is going to be bad or trash, right? So we can probably just drop these. Quesadillas, you can do so many different things to them, and they're going to be good no matter what. But yeah, potatoes, probably a below average ingredient. Salsa, though, great ingredient. Whether you have salsa verde or salsa roja, green or red salsa, whatever the kind of salsa, obviously different types of salsa might go with your ingredients a little better. But as long as you know what you're doing with your salsa, or as long as you just like salsa in general, I think salsa is a great ingredient to add inside of or as a dipping sauce to your quesadilla. This is making me hungry, by the way. Along the same lines, Pico De Gallo. Pico De Gallo I'm going to go ahead and put in mid. It's kind of along the same lines of sour cream and guacamole. I would just rather have guacamole and salsa than Pico De Gallo itself. But Pico De Gallo, like, as a dipping, is good. It is good on a quesadilla. I just think it gets a little messy and can be a little overwhelming. This is probably the only ingredient I'm going to mention messiness with, just because when you pile it on top of a quesadilla, a lot of times I end up with just a plate full of Pico De Gallo that fell off and no more quesadilla. So going to say mid-tier for the Pico De Gallo. Tomato, also going to say below average. I'm imagining just like a slice of tomato inside my quesadilla, and that just doesn't sound good to me. So obviously you can have tomato inside of Pico De Gallo. It's the main ingredient there. So it's a little better in that sense, but just a slice of tomato, not going to be going for that myself. Peppers, gonna go ahead and put them in great tier. Now, I was kind of struggling to think of what peppers people put in quesadillas, and I feel like it's usually salsa. It's not usually, just a strip of pepper, whether it be green pepper or serrano pepper or jalapeno pepper or whatever. I feel like you don't typically put strips of peppers in your quesadillas like that. But little chopped up bits, I mean, it can't be bad. It really can't be. I'm going to go ahead and put it, I'm actually going to drop it down above average just because I think I would rather have the salsa. I think the salsa as a dip is a better option to add that heat to your quesadilla. Peppers are good, but just going to go ahead and put them in above average. Oh, and also I actually had a picture for cheese, but it broke. So yeah, cheese is required for a quesadilla, so it's not on this tier list. And whatever kind of cheese you want to use for your quesadilla, go right ahead. There's 15 different cheeses you could probably use, so I'm not going to go through all of those. Corn, pretty mid. I mean, corn is corn, and corn is pretty popular right now, but I'm going to say mid as far as an ingredient in a quesadilla goes. And then that leaves us with the meat, which is exciting. Carne Asada, the best. Give me a Carne Asada quesadilla at any time of day, any day of the week. I will eat it. I don't care if I just ate dinner. I will eat it. I will put it in my mouth and I will swallow it, and it will be delicious. Carne Asada, fantastic ingredient for a quesadilla. Birria. Birria, a traditional Mexican soup, a stew type dish if you've never had it before. I think most people, at least around here, have anyway. Fantastic. You get the birria, you get the meat inside the quesadilla, and then you get the sauce to dip your quesadilla in, as long as this is what you'd be adding your cilantro and your onion to. So if you have birria with it, cilantro and onion become great tier up here, but if you don't, then they're down there. So yeah, birria, one of the best things you can possibly put in your quesadilla. Chorizo, I'm going to say above average. I think it has a bit of a too soft of a texture. It probably would taste fantastic. I don't think I've ever had a chorizo quesadilla. It's definitely an ingredient that makes sense, but I just always would have steak or chicken instead. So I'm going to say above average on the chorizo. Chicken up next. Going to say the best. I mean, chicken quesadillas are pretty classic, just like steak quesadillas. I think steak is probably my favorite out of these, but chicken quesadillas are fantastic as well. Maybe I should put chicken down here in great just because I do like birria and steak more. If I have an option on a menu between either of those or a chicken quesadilla, I'm probably going to get the other ones unless I am really trying to cut down on my red meat, which sometimes I go through a habit of doing. But yeah, chicken, I mean, it's going to be great. I mean, it's classic ingredient for a quesadilla. Pulled pork, also the best. Pulled pork, this is not really what you would think of as a traditional quesadilla ingredient, but pulled pork quesadillas are fantastic. It's a brilliant combination of just barbecue flavor with cheese, the tortilla, whatever else you're putting on it. It's fantastic. It's one of the best things you can do. Shrimp, gonna say above average. I don't think shrimp is to die for in a quesadilla. I do like shrimp. I think the texture of it, they're a little big, right? You're gonna get an entire shrimp in one bite, and then you're gonna get none for your next 3 bites. So with shrimp specifically, I would rather have that in something like a burrito where I'm taking some bigger bites of it. Or like in a taco where I'm eating, half or a third of it in one bite. With a quesadilla where it's all flattened out, I just feel like you get too much shrimp in your bite. And from me talking about this, I don't think I've had a shrimp quesadilla. I've had shrimp burritos and shrimp tacos, but shrimp quesadilla, gonna say above average. I mean, there's no way it's bad, but yeah. And then brisket is more of a Tex-Mex type thing. Putting brisket in your quesadilla, brisket like a smoked meat there, probably gonna be great. I'd say I probably have had this at some point, a similar vein here at pulled pork, but definitely gonna be good. But I think the top 3 for sure are carne asada, birria, and pulled pork. That's it, guys. In celebration of National Quesadilla Day, this is everything you could put inside of or on top of a quesadilla, at least the stuff I could think of. Let me know in the comments what you like on your quesadilla, if this was something on this list that I messed up or that you disagree with. Or something that I maybe left off the list, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. I appreciate reading those comments. And with all that said, guys, if you're still watching, I appreciate that. Have a great day. I'll be back with more tier lists tomorrow.